Now, you and Steamboat teamed some. How often did that occur, and what was that like?
That, we sold out more matches. It's funny you brought that up. Steamboat and I against Baron Von Raschke and Paul Jones. We took that around and sold out more, as much as Steamboat and I did as a tag team. Raschke and great Jim Raschke and Paul Jones, who passed away. I think Jim is still living. Raschke
Jim was just Raschke was just on the AEW show in Minneapolis. He put I forget who, but he put a guy in the brain cloth for a second at ringside.
Go be great. I can't wait to see him. Yeah, I see him periodically, but he was a great guy. We did great with Steamboat and I were partners. We did great. But once again, it's two different styles. Steamboat, who can work with anybody, greatest babyface of all time. And I just kind of went up and down the apron and got in. I certainly couldn't follow his stuff, so I just added to what I could. But, Baron was, a big, guy that lunged in. You came in hard. Great amateur wrestler, but you never know it. He never took you down and rode you around like Jack Briscoe has me a couple times. He just a great guy. And we drew big money. Steamboat got over. When he got over, boy, it was unbelievable.
Now, what's the difference between tag team wrestling or just four guys wrestling? Do you know what I mean? Like, some guys turn tag team wrestling into a science. Some guys just go in there and do the stuff they would do if they were wrestling a singles match.
Well, that's why Arn didn't like being my partner. He said, "You don't know shit about being a tag team wrestler." I said, "You're right."
Well, what did he mean by that?
Well, because Arn kind of came up under the tutelage of Ole, right? And Arn's favorite wrestler was Slater, was totally different than Ole. But, the Andersons grabbed that hold and rode it. And, that was that old school. The Andersons and Wahoo and Paul Jones did an hour and then an hour and a half to every town in the territory twice.
Wow.
Yeah. And here's Wahoo, right? We talked about how tough he was last week. Wahoo would drink all night. They'd play 18 holes of golf and go out and wrestle an hour that night. Then drink all night again. When Wahoo was diagnosed with diabetes and they told him to quit drinking, he doubled the dosage of insulin and kept drinking Crown Royal.
I'm not sure that was what the doctor would want, but yeah.
That was Wahoo. You couldn't tell him. The things that we put ourselves through back in the day is just to survive. I don't look back at it. I don't regret any of it. But I had so much fun. But you meet so many different, interesting people in this line of work, and I've seen them all. Literally, I'm got Buddy Rogers walking across the dressing room to me, and I know I'm stepping off the path here, but walking up to me in the dressing room in Greensboro and saying, "Kid, I'm the only diamond in this business. There's only one diamond in this business, kid, and you're looking at him." Hence, diamonds are forever. I was saying
there
that.
You go.
Then. Yeah.
There you go.
Only one diamond in this business, kid, and you're looking at him.
Now, and I don't know if we're going to get to it today, but we're going to go over the history of the Nature Boy character. But a couple short subjects I want to touch on.
Ricky, you took Roger's stuff to a whole new level.
Oh, that's Harley, right? Harley said that.
Yeah. Ricky, you took Roger's stuff to a whole new level.
Now here's a big debate elsewhere. Jeff Jarrett, who has a podcast, and I love Jeff and loved working with him, and what a great storyteller he is. Mm-hmm. Was Jeff Jarrett ever really a horseman? That's been a big debate.
No.
He wasn't.
I don't think so, no. Of course, there were so damn many interchangeable horsemen at the end. I don't know. One day, Sid was for a while. It would just, to have such a phenomenal gimmick. Not gimmick, but to have such an elite deal. To this day, I was just in Philly, as you know, signing autographs with Pete Rose. And if I took 200 pictures, which I did, probably 190, which they call them photo ops, 100 of the people want me to go like this. 100 of them want me to go like this. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
yeah. This was still so over. So You know, and it'll always be me, Arnold, Tully, and JJ. So anyway, shout out to JJ because I heard he's not feeling well. I hope he hears this.
Yeah, and let's go to a tweet from Corey. Was Stampede territory getting cut out of the NWA Championship Tour by the time you were champ? We don't hear much about Flair wrestling for Stu Hart. Oh, we got the wrong text up there. I'm sorry. That's probably my fault.
Well, the true story is I just got the title, and I was on my way to Calgary to wrestle, and Bob Geigel called me, and somehow, some way, the relationship with the NWA, and I mean, I've heard different stories. I don't want to say anything that's not accurate, so I'm not going to say anything negative about anybody, but somehow there was a falling out, and they called me, and Bob said, "You're not going, we're bringing in Bockwinkel." So I've heard different stories, but I don't want to, you know.
So you never worked in Stampede?
Never. I went on my way. Yeah, I never did.
That's weird. I never would have thought that.
No, it's kind of like Harley missed a shot in Houston and quit using he quit with the NWA. Paul Bosch did, and then something happened in Calgary with the NWA and Stu, and they brought in Bockwinkel. So that's why I never wrestled Brett early in his career. I wish I had.